Amy's channel. So today I'm going to give a review on this well, it's a series really called the Snitch of the Snitch Cartel. Very good, very good. I like the Spanish that's in it. Um, there are like 50 episodes in all. It's quite long. I mean, and being that this is a real life situation, right? I like how it is formulated in the original language, because then you can get a real sense of being in that moment, in that environment. Not only that, the characters was very good. This is Leonardo, and it shows where Leonardo came from, his dad running off and leaving his mum in poverty, and then he going out and starting to become the cartel that he became. Their names in real life is different, obviously, but I have a little bit of a song bite about the cartels where this story is set on, and what I like about it is their family togetherness, because the mom didn't even know what the sons was doing until later on in life. But then, but then, but then when she do find out, right, I think she pleads with them to stop doing it. But then later on, like 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 the Pablo Escobars and all them ones, it shows how they are caught, and how for years they take long to get them caught on whatever they go catch them on, and how they go around trying, getting money, trying to outsmart the law, in their country, i.e., going over to America. I think he's New York, he goes to the Bronx, and like there's a whole another thing over there. So this is a very good program to watch. Very, very good program if you have the patience to watch all 60 episodes of it. But I'm going to play the soundbite because I think someone's coming to interrupt. Hold on a minute.
The Snitch Cartel Origins True Story. Who were the real gentlemen of Cali? At the start of this cartel origins, a warning is shown to explain that the story and characters that viewers are about to see are fictional. The Colombian crime drama is based on the book El Cartel de los Sapos by Andres Lopez Lopez, and focuses on brothers Leonardo, Juan Pablo Orrego, and Emmanuel Villegas, Sebastian Osorio, who are running their own drug business in the city of Cali. Having effectively taken over the city of Cali through their drug empire, a voiceover in the show declares the brothers the Gentlemen of Cali. And while the show may be fictional, the Gentlemen of Cali was a real nickname used for the real Cali cartel. Who were the real Gentlemen of Cali? The Cali cartel was founded by brothers Miguel and Gilberto Rodriguez Orihuela and Jose Santa Cruz Londoño in the 1970s. The Gentlemen of Cali briefly cooperated with Pablo Escobar and the Medellin cartel, but later broke away in the 1980s and formed a four-man executive board alongside Helmer Pacho Herrera. The Cali cartel had control of New York City and parts of the Northeast in the U.S., while Escobar's Medellin cartel had a stake in Miami and South Florida. They remained bitter rivals until the latter group was dissolved in 1993. In the 1990s, the Cali cartel grew into one of the most powerful international drug trafficking operations in the world, and at one point they controlled the vast majority of the cocaine market in the U.S. and Europe. How did the Gentlemen of Cali operate? The cartel had several cells that operated in the U.S. and Europe, with each specializing in a sector of the drug trade such as cocaine distribution and money laundering. The operation also included jobs for the transport and storage of drugs. Unlike the Medellin cartel, the Cali cartel was interested in using a more business-oriented approach to their operation. Javier Peña, a U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) agent who worked on both the Escobar and Cali cartel cases, said in the Cypher Brief podcast in 2017 that the Gentlemen of Cali were more business savvy. He explained, "What we noticed was that Cali cartel had learned from the Medellin cartel not to make those types of mistakes. For example, I call the Medellin cartel Wild West. Cali cartel was more businesslike. They were more organized. They had more business savvy. Of course, the Cali cartel was not above resorting to violence, as they are said to have ordered a number of killings, and they did embark on ethnic cleansing of desechables, or discardables, including prostitutes, homosexuals, and the homeless. What happened to the gentlemen of Cali? In the early to mid 1990s, the U.S. started to put pressure on the Colombian government to stop the Cali cartel. In 1995, a number of high-level figures in the cartel were arrested, including co-founder Santa Cruz on July 4. In the summer of the same year, the Rodriguez Oruela brothers were also caught and imprisoned by police, with Gilberto getting arrested on June 9 and Miguel on August 6. At the time, National Police Chief Jose Serrano said in an interview with RCN Radio, "The Cali cartel died today." On January 11, 1996, Santa Cruz managed to escape from La Picota prison in Bogotá. He was then killed by police on 5th of March. Herrera turned himself into the Colombian National Police on September 1, 1996, but he was killed by an inmate in prison on November 4, 1998. The Snitch Cartel Origins, as well as Narcos and Narcos Mexico, are available to stream on Netflix now.
So it is very much a real life thing, a real life drama of the cartels, which is still going on now to this day. I should think, because when you go on Netflix, I mean, though most of the dramas is in Spanish, but then once you get past the Spanish parts and the subtitles, you literally go into their world. Their world is very dangerous, especially the part about when he talks about when they're the prison in Bogota. When they find out who was snitching on them, they set it up in a way so that one of them is killed. Right. So in all, oh, it's loud. In all, it shows how deep they can get into, how much control they can get into, where they can pay off government, they can pay off authorities, police, um, prisoners, to the guards. It literally shows how much power they hold, and not only that, though their families is well and truly looked after by the money that they have been made, right? Though it is blood money, but then in the long run, their family gets caught. Some of their families get caught in the middle of the certain territory law where it's dealing with the drugs. So you'll see all that as it plays out in the in the serial itself. Though it is very long, my advice to you is just take it. Let's watch like a couple. Let's break it down like 10 at a time if you can, like binge watch 10 and watch 10 again until you get to the end. It is a very long series. Um, it's very good. I will say it's a very very well thought out. The characters, you even see them from when Leonardo is young like this to Leonardo is of an old man, but obviously he is representing Miguel. So Emmanuel is representing the brother of Miguel, right? And then there are certain characters. So yes, this is a spoiler because at the end of the day, like when they get moved to another prison, you see their families waiting at the end for them, um, well, like so that they can get transferred. Emmanuel and Leonardo gets transferred out of the Bogota prison. So it's a lot to take in. I mean, but it's very good. I will say, like, it is better. I mean, people talk about soaps and Young and the Restless and stuff. This really is better. Is more on the levels of that because it keeps you watching, it keeps you interested. You want to know what's going to happen next. You're always on edge. What's going to happen next? Even if you turn off for like I turned off for like a couple of days, and I still was curious what's going to happen. Even though sometimes you have to like get to the ending of it somehow. Um, but it is a very good watch, I must say. I mean, I literally did enjoy it. This is one of the better Spanish ones, I think, because maybe this whoever wrote it really thought about what they're putting into it. They didn't just write it any and anyhow and just put it there. There's a lot of thought. The costumes are very well thought of. It's very colorful. You see the background. You can see the Cubans or Spanish around, Afro Brazilians around, or because this is set in Rio de Janeiro, I think it is. I think it was set in Rio. I'm not sure, but but certain settings you recognize certain settings. The houses are colorful. You see from the 80s to the 90s upwards, or whatever time they were born in. Then you notice the costume change as it goes through. Um, you see certain things, how the police is paid off, how people are planted with drugs on where, like, not even knowing about it, get to the other end, somebody on the other end checks them, and then they're in a predicament by innocence. You know what I mean? So because Leonardo was very protective over his sister, he set it up two men in the process. He set up one which was in prison for a long time. The other one, who was a teacher, he put planted drugs on his coat. So then he made sure, and then he paid off one of the securities that was on the other end, so he gets searched, so he get catched. So there's a lot of twists and turns in the storylines. Like I said, it's very long, a long, lots of episodes, but keeps you well and truly captured in it. So this is what I think of it. It's very good. It's 10 out of 10 for me, because like I like shows like this, whereas foreign speakers, I like listening to Spanish speakers. I mean, like, you do learn the odd word. I did recognize a few things as well. They had a couple of Risha things playing in there too. The lady, she read Emmanuel, and the tarot card she pulled out was a blind cherubim, which she said was blind love. But obviously, right, it was linked to her and Emmanuel. So you see various things in it that is recognizable. You really do, and it's not because it's got the Orisha play in it. What I'm saying is good, because it's good from the beginning to the end. Because their father abandons them and their mother, and then he's left to try and make money for the family. So the older one, he goes out, tries to make money for the family, try to keep his mother afloat. He starts by being carrying medicine up and down the village for people, and then later when it turns into something else, where he himself works out a business where he can sell medicines to people, but without the pharmacy knowing what he's doing. Then you see how they get into crime. Then it turns into some next thing. Then you see how they turn into the cartel that they did become. So with that said, I'm literally gonna stop right there because I don't want to tell it all. I mean, I gave away spoilers in parts already. I mean, I wish I was learning Spanish, because they say certain things and you literally, like, it's like you understand what they're saying. I mean, after a while, right, you forget the subtitles. You start watching I mean, which Saida said, after a while, right, you literally start watching the characters and what's going on with them, till you come really into the scenes, what they are playing. You know, I mean, I found myself shouting at the TV at the laptop couple times, though it is set on a Netflix streaming thing, but it is very good to watch. So definitely go and have a watch. Put what you like about it, what you didn't like about it. I think I liked all of it. I don't really have no qualms about it. But you know me, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. It's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. Innit? But bad series. But this is quite good. So with that said, I'm gonna come off.